So it's no question that Dragon Ball Super Broly has conjured up a lot of hype, especially in the wake of the third trailer that has dropped recently. But no matter how good it might look to many people, there are still things about it that are almost guaranteed to drag it down. So today I'm going to go over 5 things that will doom Dragon Ball Super Broly. Number 5 is the use of CG. No matter how good this movie may look, the CG shots really stand out. And the trailers that have been released have no shortage of them, and every single time they're on screen, it tears me out of the experience. Now, while I don't necessarily have a big problem with vehicles or maybe energy perhaps being CG, it's especially bad when you have actual characters modeled in CG, such as Goku, Vegeta, and Broly when they're flying around, and especially of what looks like to be a very pivotal moment in the whole movie of Vegeta and Goku doing their back-to-back Kamehameha and Gallic Gun Blast, and it's in CG, and it's taken completely flat by the fact that it looks like it's a part of a video game. You have this amazing 2D animation, really crisp, really clean, and gritty kind of at the same time, really fluid. But then you have it juxtaposed with these CG character models that are way too fluid and way too like clean looking and fake looking. And it looks like it belongs in a video game. You have this 2D animated movie, and then you have a shot where it's just randomly a video game. Now, do I think that animation and designs and everything are in and of themselves bad? Not necessarily, although I am not a big fan of that kind of animation at all. I mean, look at seasons 1 and 2 of the newer Berserk series. Terrible looking stuff. It always draws attention to itself and how unnatural it feels. So while we're watching Dragon Ball Super Broly, we're going to be immersed in this amazing action sequence and intense explosions, fighting everywhere, and then this fluid 2D animation, this amazing looking stuff, and then they're going to cut to some shots of just these wonky, unnatural looking and moving characters, and it's going to be like, oh, this is so awesome, but then in the back of our minds, we're gonna be thinking, oh man, I'm really loving this 2D animation, but why, like now it looks differently and something's off about it, you know? So while I don't mind stylistic changes here and there, as long as it doesn't draw too much attention to itself, CG always tends to draw attention to itself, and it's not going to age well at all. 5, 10 years, even less from now, we're gonna be watching this movie and think, why did they make that decision? It looks really, really bad. So, number 4 goes to fan service. We all remember that very, very first trailer that dropped with Goku kind of hopping around in the snow, and he's like, hey, it's me, Goku, and then there's this mysterious figure up on top of that ice mountain. Everybody's thinking, who is that? It looks like some sort of Saiyan, maybe it's Yamoshi. Maybe it's Broly. I'm sure a lot of people predicted that, but it ended up being Broly, and a lot of people were not very happy with that. Oh, so this movie that we've hyped up from this first trailer, we're so hyped for it, and now it's just a remake, you know, a reimagining. So many movies are remade, reimagined these days. And, you know, now Dragon Ball is no exception. We're having basically what is a remake of Broly, a villain that is arguably the most uninteresting villain in all of the Dragon Ball movies. But, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people really like Broly. Obviously they do, because why did they bring him back? Because he's super popular. And that was extremely apparent in that first actual trailer that we got, which revealed Broly and basically says straight to our face, hey, you guys like Broly, right? Here's Broly versus Frieza, Broly versus Vegeta, you know, and Broly versus Goku. I mean, hey, now Broly's extra maximum now because he's taking on the Super Saiyan Blue guys, and now he's a part of Dragon Ball canon. You know, he's not in the movies anymore. This is a continuation of Dragon Ball Super. So while it is definitely an opportunity to make Broly's character a much better character, there is always going to be that feeling that, hey, Broly's popular, we're going to bring him back. Not to mention, during the movie, we're going to be constantly comparing new Broly to old Broly. Another thing that's fanservice-y is Super Saiyan God Vegeta. Why is Vegeta just now deciding to use Super Saiyan God against Broly of all people and not in the Tournament of Power? You know, since he's always just gone from Super Saiyan 2 to Super Saiyan Blue and skipped God entirely, I mean, he skipped Super Saiyan 3, it does feel, at least for this particular fight, that it's not in Vegeta to go from one level to the next level to the next level after that. I feel like he would typically just go from Super Saiyan to Super Saiyan Blue and just like end the fight with Broly. You know what I'm saying? So unless they have a good explanation as to why he's using Super Saiyan God like he did in the manga, it just feels like fan service. Now, if anybody else has any fan servicey things in this movie, just let me know in the comments, but I don't want this video to be too long, so we're gonna move on to number 3, too many trailers. Or not necessarily too many trailers, but the amount that the combined runtime of the trailers show off of the movie. I feel like we have seen the entire fight between Goku, Vegeta, and Broly at this point. And so many trailers, especially for mainstream movies these days, show off way too much and leave way too little of a mystery for the actual film. And they just like give away the entire plot of the movie. And I feel like with these 3 or 4 trailers that we've received, the whole plot of Dragon Ball Super Broly, there's not enough mystery left to keep the intrigue up for this movie, because I feel like like I said, we've seen the whole like final act of the movie, especially in trailer number 3 when they show Goku and Vegeta doing that back-to-back blast. I swear to God, if that is the last like moments of that fight, I'm gonna be pissed, because that is a serious trailer no-no. You know, Venom did the same thing, even though that was a far less pivotal moment in Venom than it is here. So I feel like they're just giving away too many money shots, too much like cool moments. I don't think they need to do this. I think they, like, one of the biggest hype things for Dragon Ball Super Broly was the mystery of like what this story is going to be about, the mystery of how this fight is going to progress and, you know, go down. But now there's significantly less mystery and there's significantly less intrigue, and they showed off just way too much, especially of this fight. So now when we go to see the movie, it's just these shots, these really awesome moments are going to be old news. So now when we go to see the movie, we're gonna say, oh, there's that part from the trailer, there's that part from the trailer, and then half of the movie is gonna be just parts of the trailer, and the other half is gonna be like the boring stuff of the movie or something. So let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think the trailers have ruined your excitement for the movie? Or are you even more excited? Just let me know in the comments. But we move on to number 2. And that is variables. Now, what I mean by variables is there's a lot of factors to be factored into Dragon Ball Super Broly, especially in terms of Frieza's involvement, what might happen with Broly's character, and what, you know, repercussions that might have for the aftermath of Dragon Ball Super Broly going forward to, say, another series, possibly another movie. But variables like Frieza's power. Like, we know how strong Frieza can get from a little bit of training. How is Broly gonna keep up with these god tier characters that have had so many fights, like so many epic, huge struggles, so much training with the gods? And how is this gonna be explained of how Broly can just, you know, keep up with these guys? Is it just gonna be natural strength? Will Goku have Ultra Instinct, or will he be pushed far enough to utilize Ultra Instinct? So it's things like these that I feel like is going to be very tough to write around. So for Frieza, is it going to take place directly after the Tournament of Power? So Frieza doesn't have any time to train. With Broly, how are they going to write that? Is he just going to be powerful, you know, just naturally that strong? If so, that feels extremely convenient. Now for Ultra Instinct, if Goku is not pushed to Ultra Instinct or even mastered Ultra Instinct, why not? And then of course you have Whis from trailer 3 that looked like he was in a combat situation with Broly. So what's going to push Whis to get involved in that? Or maybe Broly is the one who starts that altercation. But it's things like these variables that it's going to be really tough to write yourself around, revolving around this plot of Broly, you know, the Saiyans and Frieza and the past stuff, and then trying to make sense of it all so that it all fits together nicely. You know, so that you don't have like inconsistent things or ass pulls or things like that. But moving on to number 1, and I think you all know where we're headed with this, is Dragon Ball Minus. Possibly the single worst thing that Dragon Ball has had since Dragon Ball Evolution. As the second trailer confirms, this movie is basically gonna be an amalgamation of the Broly story and Dragon Ball Minus retold in a movie format, bringing Broly into canon, bringing Dragon Ball Minus into the animated verse of Dragon Ball, and we can't ignore it anymore. It's now going to be a part of the series. Before, it was just like, you know, a few pages of a stupid little story that you can ignore. But now, Toriyama, for whatever reason, wants to bring it into the main canon. And this is despite the literal damage that Dragon Ball Minus does to the original story, the original Dragon Ball, early portions of Dragon Ball Z. A lot of inconsistent things about that, and themes, dramatic and ironic themes in Dragon Ball that are literally destroyed by Dragon Ball Minus. Now, I do think it is possible for Toriyama to write the story of Dragon Ball Minus or rewrite it in a way that doesn't interfere too much with the rest of the Dragon Ball series, but it doesn't seem like Toriyama's very concerned with that. I mean, we've seen Goku as a toddler. He didn't look like a baby, going off in that spaceship in the trailer. And, you know, we see him pictured as a baby. It's clear that the intent that Toriyama had when he was writing Dragon Ball, the Saiyan saga, was that Goku was a little baby with no, like, cognizant abilities, barely, was sent to Earth to destroy it and ended up saving it. But now with Dragon Ball Minus's involvement that we can't ignore anymore, he is sent by his loving parents to Earth, not to destroy it, but to live on the peaceful planet. You know, so that he's not destroyed by Frieza blowing up planet Vegeta, which is all based on Bardock's hunch. Now, of course, like I said, this could all be written in a way that could fit a lot better with the rest of the story, but it's highly unlikely, and Dragon Ball Minus is the #1 thing that's going to drag Dragon Ball Super Broly down to the depths of Hades. Not to mention, Toriyama apparently wrote like a 3-hour-long script, and they're only doing half of it. So I'm not sure which one of these 5 things you would file that under, but it's something to note. But who knows, maybe Dragon Ball Super Broly will turn out pretty good despite all of these things. Highly unlikely, but what do you guys think? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. If you have anything to add to this video, or if you have 5 other things that you think will doom Dragon Ball Super Broly, just put those in the comments. I'd very much like to see those. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. We have a lot of fun with Dragon Ball and music and all things here. As always, thank you very much for watching, and take it easy.